What's up, world, and welcome back to the Big Wrist Syndicate. If you have a wrist that makes most luxury watches look like a postage stamp, you have found your tribe. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm your host, Joey, and today we're looking at a piece from Touraine Watch Company. This is the Heritage Racer Noir. Full disclosure, I've worked with Dave over at Touraine before. I even traded some photography work to keep the seafarer. But today, we're talking about this deep, dark, mechanical beast. When I pulled this out of the box, my first word was just, wow. It is a deep, glossy black that looks like it belongs on the wrist of a getaway driver. Now let's talk dimensions, because size matters in the Syndicate. Case diameter, 43 millimeters.
Perfect.
That is our Goldilocks zone. Not too small to disappear, not so big it's a wall clock. Lug-to-Lug, 50 millimeters. This is the secret sauce. It fills the wrist without overhanging. Thickness, 13 millimeters. For a mechanical chronograph, that is actually quite slim. Lug width, 22 millimeters. Standard, which is great for the strap swaps we're going to be doing later. The case is 316L stainless with a DLC coating. That's diamond-like carbon, not cheap paint. And capping it off, sapphire crystal with AR coating. Now, let's get real close on this dial. Look at those indices. Does that look familiar to you car guys? It reminds me of an instrument cluster out of a vintage 911. That bright red chronograph needle, that's your RPM needle. Sweep it through the gears. The indices are super easy to read. It feels like it's built for speed. Now, let's flip this bird over. Look at that. That is the Seagull ST1902. If you don't own a watch with this movement on display, stop what you were doing and go buy one. Hell, go buy this watch, the Heritage Racer Noir from Touraine. This is a manual wind, column wheel driven mechanical chronograph. It is a clone of the legendary Swiss Venus 175 caliber. It is, quite frankly, poetry in motion. There is something so personable, so sexy about winding a watch like this. I love waking up, winding it to give it life, and going about my day. It's a nod to our horological past. Hear that click? That's the column wheel. It feels expensive. It feels tactile. Watch that needle snap back to 12. Crisp. Now let's talk about these shoes. It comes with two options. First, the stock black leather rally strap. Honestly, it's decent. Well made, DLC buckle to match the case. It also comes with a black NATO. Look, it's a nice gesture, but it's just not my vibe. A racing chrono belongs on leather. I started experimenting. I posted a TikTok on this yellow rally strap, and you guys went nuts. It looked like a vintage racing livery. I thought I found the one. But then, I tried the red leather rally strap. When I posted the reel of this setup, the watch went into beast mode. It went from a Fiat to a Ferrari. That red matches the chrono needle perfectly. It looks aggressive, it looks fast. On the red strap is where it will stay. Now, let's talk the state of the Syndicate. These 9-inch wrists of mine were unforgiving for years. I could barely get to the second hole on that stock strap. But, as many of you know, I've been on a mission. I've been losing some LBs, and I'm getting healthy. I'm down to almost an 8-inch wrist now. And look at that, a third hole easy. Getting healthy means getting more with watch options, especially when it comes to straps. And that is a major win. I'm still not wearing anything less than 40 millimeters. It doesn't matter how small my wrists get, I'm still a large human being at 6'6". So it is what it is. Now, before I forget, I have to show you this lume. It blew me out the water. It's C3 lume. And get this, even the ceramic bezel has lume. You'd expect this out of a dive watch, not a chronograph. If you're at a car show at dusk, this thing is going to be glowing. Almost like the check engine light on a Volkswagen. Is it perfect? Well, nothing is. The sub-dial hands can be a little hard to read sometimes, but it's not a deal breaker. I'd love to see a polished steel case, or even brass. And Dave, drilled lugs. Help us out with the strap changes. Even though the tool you provided with the watch and the Seafarer are top notch. These aren't some cheap, these aren't a cheap tool that you would find in an AliExpress watch. Alright, here's my sign off. You get a 36-month warranty, 3 years of a peace of mind. This watch is a certified go. It is Big Wrist Syndicate approved. Check the links below to grab yours. Let me know in the comments, what strap would you put on this blacked out beast? Y'all stay saucy, keep it funky, and I'm out. Peace.